So will the far-right AfD even get a look in here when it comes to this coalition?
Well, I don't think this time around. This is a very controversial issue, as we've heard in the previous report in Germany. Friedrich Merz of the CDU has made clear that he is not going to entertain a coalition with the far right, even though with them he would have a clear majority. Together, they would have almost 50% of the votes. But he's sticking to what the Germans call a firewall here, refusing to even discuss the possibility of a coalition. But the math makes it very difficult for him to forge another option here. He was hoping for a two-party coalition, clearly with the Social Democrats, the center left, and that is looking now like it could be slipping out of his grasp.
So, I mean, just looking at the numbers and comparing to the last election, which no doubt you're aware of, the AfD, it's doubled its vote. 10% in 2021 to now 20%. So that's 1 in 5 voters support the AfD. So is it politically, is it wise to shut them out?
Many people I speak to here say this firewall is going to crumble in the coming years, that this isn't sustainable because they just keep getting stronger. I think that there was a lot of fear in the political center in Germany before this election that the AfD was going to be even stronger because of these recent terrorist attacks that we've had here with migrants coming and stabbing people. We just had such an incident on Friday, in fact, and there is a lot of frustration in Germany, as there is across Europe, with the issue of migration, with asylum, all of the resources that is going into dealing with the asylum seekers. And this is obviously a feeding frenzy for the far right, and there is nothing on the horizon that looks like it's going to get any easier for the establishment politicians to deal with this issue. So you have to assume that the AfD is going to continue to strengthen, and it could get to the point where the center right will have no other option but to pull down that firewall and say, okay, we're going to go into a coalition here, which is exactly what we've seen in other countries in Europe and Germany. Because of its history, that is a bit more controversial, to put it mildly.
I mean, look, you know, when you said it at the top there, Matthew, that coalition, that messy coalition off the top, involving the Greens and, you know, the centre right, I mean, that just sounds like a disaster waiting to happen that's just going to feed more people into the AfD, and they could well be the dominant party in 4 years' time.
Well, you've really put your finger on it there, because what has happened in Germany and in other countries in Europe recently is that in order to box out the far right, you end up with these coalitions of parties who really don't belong together. They're on really opposite ends of the ideological spectrum, and this isn't what voters want, clearly. And these coalitions tend not to be particularly stable. In fact, the last coalition in Germany collapsed as a result of this. So you really have to wonder how long it's going to be before Germans end up back at the polls if Merz does indeed have to push forward with this three-party coalition.
Yeah, good point. Well explained, Matthew. Good to have you with us. Thank you. We'll chat again soon.